Hi there, I'm Bríd O'Connell and joining me today is Oonagh McCutcheon, Corporate Communications Manager with .ie. Oonagh, you are very welcome to the Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast.
Thanks, Bríd. It's lovely to be here.
Well, we've had you on before, Oonagh, and we always like to know what's going on with .ie, and particularly in relation to the lead up to Christmas, where people are thinking about buying online, being safe, being secure. So for me, we are .ie really important. Let's talk a little bit about the .ie domains, and you as the National Registry for .ie domains, a little bit more about that and what people should be looking out for.
Yes, so just to give people a little bit of background, we are the company that manages the .ie namespace for Ireland, and in every country in the world there's one organisation that does that, and the reason being that it's a piece of critical national infrastructure. So as an operator of essential services, we ensure that the namespace is kept safe by tackling cybercrime, by ensuring that we have protocols in place with various authorities such as the Competition Authority and others, and the National Cybercrime Unit and many others, to make sure that the namespace is kept really safe. And we're very fortunate with .ie that there's a very, very low level of crime compared with other international
well, that's
domains.
Good to hear. What do you put that down to, Oonagh?
I think one of the main reasons is that we are what's called a managed registry, and what it means is that everybody who gets a .ie domain name is validated at the point of application.
So I have to ask you the hard question now, Oonagh, which is a lot of people say, well, I bought off a website called .ie, and I thought they were Irish, but they actually aren't Irish. Explain that to the listener, because I think that's a misunderstanding on some cases. So let's get clarity on that, please.
It is. So the people who apply for a .ie domain have to fulfil a number of criteria. So that could be that you're a citizen, a resident, that you have a business, that you have customers in Ireland. And I think that's where sometimes people get a little bit caught.
So they have to have a genuine connection to Ireland.
Absolutely.
Okay, good to know. So people who are outside of Ireland and get a .ie, how do they qualify?
Because they've got customers in Ireland.
Aha.
And in the same way as an Irish business doing business in France, let's say, would get a .fr domain.
Course,
because people want to feel that there's a connection and that they can shop from, excuse me, a reliable and credible company. That's
great to get that clarity, because people come to us in Guaranteed Irish all the time and say, oh, I thought I was buying from an Irish website, but it turns out now that they're not Irish at all. And we're thinking, well, it is .ie and there is a connection to Ireland, but for us to put our finger on the pulse, that's great. So once there's a connection to Ireland, they may have customers. And of course, the reverse is fair. We're in an economic union. At the end of the day, we want to do business with our economic neighbours. So it's important, a bit like we say in Guaranteed Irish, all together better. We all have a chance.
Altogether better. And just you might be interested to know that only 9% of .ie domains are registered to outside of Ireland. So UK companies, for example, or US companies, German companies, whatever it might be, who are wanting to do work in Ireland, wanting to serve the consumer, the Irish consumer.
And they already have consumers and customers here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know. In terms then, is there a criteria where you would not allow somebody to get a .ie? What would make you turn down an application?
It would be if they can't fulfil any of our criteria. So they're not Irish, they don't have an Irish passport or residency or customers in Ireland. So those would be the reasons.
So I suppose that actually connects then to why the cybersecurity is so high and you've so little, touch wood, problems with it so far. Am I right in making that link?
Absolutely, because we know who owns each .ie domain. We have that on record, we have their contact details, so it means if anything does happen, and as I said, thankfully it's a very rare occurrence, but when it does happen, we're able to trace them. So if you're with a .com or .uk, that isn't the case.
Okay.
So you could just if you want to get a .com, you just go, hi, Bríd.com, here, that's my website. You don't have to produce any information about yourself. As long as the name is available, you just get it. So they can never trace who's behind those .coms.
So the .ie provides an entire Intel traceability?
Correct.
Okay, well that's actually really important and reassuring.
It is, and that's why I think there's such a high level of trust in .ie domains. I think people generally, especially people in the industry and our registrars, which is the reseller channel that we use, they're hyper aware of that, and they would be making their end customers aware of that also.
Okay, I applaud you for that. We're right at the start of Christmas shopping season now, Oonagh. So in the run up to Christmas, what would you say to those on the fence of whether to shop Irish or to shop abroad, and what are the benefits of going down the .ie domain place?
Well, I think the main recommendation we would say is keep it local. Shop on your local .ie website. We all know that people shopping locally, whether online or in store, those people are keeping money within the local Irish economy, saving jobs, keeping stores open. It's a case of, if you don't use it, you lose it. So if people say, well, that shop has closed down or this restaurant has closed down, if you don't support them, that's what's going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think that's a really strong point. I think the other thing is that we know that our research shows that people view .ie websites as being more trustworthy, and that they provide faster and more reliable delivery services. That's also, I think, linked to reduced supply chains. So if local Irish businesses are sourcing their products within the Irish economy, you don't have those elongated global supply chains to deal with.
Absolutely, and we saw that a lot in the last couple of years. And while COVID allowed everybody to go down the road of shopping online, there's no doubt about it, the stats and the facts are showing us that the swing back to people wanting the shopping experience, and that's become different. So it's a real mix of shopping online and doing a little bit of research, and then going in and trying and feeling and meeting people and enjoying the experience. So it's a real mix of the two now, and I love what you're saying. If they don't use it, they'll lose it, because it's, we can't complain about not using the local shop if we're not supporting them. So get out there and shop local.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, Breed. And I know last Christmas myself, I made a big effort in my local village of Blackrock to shop to get all my Christmas presents on the main street of Blackrock, and it was a great experience, and it was lovely. It felt really good to support those businesses, and the town is definitely thriving.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we've a big campaign going out in the lead up to Christmas with Guaranteed Irish. It's to get the G under the tree. We're asking everybody to buy Guaranteed Irish gifts this year. You don't have to buy them all to be Guaranteed Irish, but we do want you to buy some. And if we can get the G under the tree in every household this year, it'll make such a huge difference. And Guaranteed Irish Gifts.ie has now been launched. So between the .ie, the Guaranteed Irish Gift, the new Pinterest page that's out there, where it's an assault of imagery of opportunities for buying for all members of the family. The big call is to shop local and support particularly Guaranteed Irish businesses who are putting money back into the economy. In relation to your own business, Oonagh, how important has being a member of Guaranteed Irish for your business been, or is it important at all?
Well, for us it is very important, because really .ie being the national registry and Guaranteed Irish, they're nearly woven in together, aren't they? And for us, we want to support local, we want to support Irish business, and we see being a member of Guaranteed Irish as a perfect way to do that.
There are some enterprising people listening now, Oonagh, to us today, who are on the cusp of setting up their own small businesses. What advice would you give them, and what resources do you have within .ie that can help them as they begin their journey?
Yeah, so I suppose the first thing to do is to get online, get a website, get your .ie website, then set up your social channels, because the two work together very closely. So the social can drive traffic to your website, but it's on your website that you need to do your transactions. You need to own your own real estate online. You don't want to be selling on a third-party platform like Amazon or something, because, the rules are set by Amazon, not by you.
And actually, I'm going to stop you on that point, because we've had these discussions with lots of our small little businesses who've started off, and they've gone down that other route thinking they were better. But in actual fact, they're building the brand for Amazon, not themselves. And it's only later, after maybe a year or two, where they realise this. And there's a lot of work done for Amazon and not for them, which is very, I suppose, disappointing for them when they realise where they've got to start again. So I suppose from the get-go, the big thing is to invest in your own brand, isn't it, on an e-commerce platform?
It is, yeah. And as I say, you own it. You set the rules, you set the regulations, you decide what you want to sell, how you want to sell it, what margins you are prepared to accept, etc., etc. If you go on a third-party platform, those rules are set by somebody else. And those rules can change as well. You know,
you effectively become a sales rep for them, really.
Yeah, you could be 2 or 3 years down the line with them, and then you say, oops, the rules have changed, and now I'm, you know, maybe exposed in some way. So that's what we would say is the first thing is to get online and get a website. Get your social channels active. We know, of course, that having a .ie domain also means that you come top of search in Google, on google.ie. So there's a search benefit to having it as well.
Of course, most important.
The other benefit of having a .ie website is that it comes top of search on google.ie. So that's when you're searching and looking for products and services as a consumer, you want to see a .ie's website is going to come up top. It'll come up ahead of a .com.
Great.
So then in terms of other tips, the local enterprise offices are a great source of information for anybody setting up a business. They really provide excellent resources, and a lot of them are very inexpensive as well. The courses are quite affordable. The third thing I'd suggest is that people might like to visit our website, weare.ie. We have a business section there where we have ebooks, guides, blogs, etc. that help with a whole range of different topics. For example, one topic is how to get an accurate website quote, because that's something we've often heard from startups. You know, I got a quote for 5,000 from this person and 10,000 from that person and 15,000 from the third company. And really the reason very often is that the business owner is not always asking the vendor for the same thing. So we've developed a form that people can fill out, so they give that exact spec to each of the 3 different web companies, and therefore they can compare prices accurately when they come back. So there are tools like that on our website that are freely available for people to use.
That's great. www.weare.ie is the website, weare.ie. So Oonagh McCutcheon, Corporate Communications Manager with .ie, thank you very much for joining us today, and I wish you every success. For anybody listening who felt that they could benefit from the opportunities that weare.ie are offering on their website, please do log in to www.weare.ie to download those tools and many other opportunities that Oonagh alluded to during the interview. They certainly are a great choice. Thanks ever so much for joining me, Oonagh.